afternoon and welcome back to Questioning Sense with me, Matt. I hope you guys are well. It's all fine here. Everything is going swimmingly. Busy, busy, busy. London is back in business, which means I'm working flat out, which is already quite good, really, to be honest. I mean, it's what we've been sort of dreaming of for the last, feels like forever. But anyway, everything is cool in the gang and we are cracking on. So today we're going to do a very quick review. I've just finished work. I've just got in and I'm about to apply this perfume before I go off to meet my family and some friends for a few beers. So I'm very excited. And this is going to be quite a quick review, but it's an important one because we're going to talk about a new one on me, and it's one that I've heard about for a while, but I was put off because it's sort of inspired by a perfume that I don't particularly get on that well with. And then I was chatting again to some other people about it, and they were saying, oh, no, there's a key difference between this one and what the inspiration is. And that's when my ears pricked up and I took a pounce. So first and foremost, when we're talking about the House of Rasasi, a perfume from the House of Rasasi here, now I have La Yucawam, so I think this is awesome. This is an absolutely fantastic fragrance. It's obviously an impression of Tuscan leather, and I think they have absolutely nailed it and possibly even improved on it. So I've got a lot of faith in Rasasi when it comes to their perfumes. And the one that we're actually here to talk about today properly is this one, which is called Fattan. Look at that. Crazy green liquid. A little 50ml bottle there. Very solid bottle, very pretty. It's a weird shape, but it's awesome. It has a thick, clear plastic lid, which does actually click on. So there you have this crazy liquid, this wonderful perfume. And it's an inspiration of Terre d'Hermès. It's certainly heavily influenced by Terre d'Hermès. Now, those of you that are long-suffering and has been with the channel for a long time will know that it's not a perfume that I particularly get on well with. In fact, Terre d'Hermès is responsible, incorrectly, for me thinking I don't get on with orange, because the mix of orange and vetiver in Terre d'Hermès on my skin doesn't work. It smells like mouldy oranges. It's not very nice. But I actually love the way that Terre d'Hermès is constructed. And apart from that orangey note, I actually really, really like the perfume. So I was very intrigued to get a bottle of this and give it a go. Now, this costs at the moment £18 for a 50ml. It only comes in a 50ml bottle from Latino. And I would argue that this is one of the best bargains in the fragrance community that you're going to find. I don't think there are many houses that are making a perfume this affordable, this pretty, that's this good, and I really, really mean that. So what we'll do is I'm going to have a little spray of it now. We'll go through the notes and then we'll talk a little bit about the perfume, how it behaves, who it's pitched at, that kind of thing. And then I will leave it to you to make a decision as to whether you think it's worth having a crack at. For a spoiler, if you like Terre d'Hermès or you like citrusy vetiver fragrances, you should have it. It's as simple as that. Anyway, enough waffle. Let's have a little spray. So now we'll go through the notes. Wow. Okay, so this came out in 2018 and it's absolutely beautiful. It's such a lovely, lovely fragrance. And, my concerns about this being too much like Terre d'Hermès, they're absolutely unfounded because with Fattan, there's no orange in it. So on the top, you have grapefruit, you have bergamot, and you have pink pepper. Gives it a little bit of punchiness. Then you have vetiver, you have cedar, you have a little patchouli, you have lily of the valley, and on the base you have oak moss, you have amber, and you have benzoin. But this perfume, to me, this opening is absolutely fantastic. It's really weird because it's almost so bitter. There's sweetness to it, which makes no sense at all. But when you smell it, you'll know exactly what I'm coming from. The grapefruit and bergamot are incredibly sharp, and then the pepper just makes it even punchier, so it's huge at this point as well. The projection and the sillage that comes off this in the first hour is off the hook. It's amazing. And it's really bright, it's refreshing, but it's green, whereas with Terre d'Hermès, you've got that oranginess coming through, and the orange kind of dominates the citrus. There's no orange in this. It's just fresh, a little sweet, very bitter, very, very zingy, and very, very refreshing. And it's glorious at this stage. It just, it fills the room. I've only put a little bit on my wrist there and you can smell it everywhere. So, this is the perfume that I'm going to wear as soon as I finish this video. I'm going to apply this and go running off to get some beers down my neck. So I'm going to be wearing this evening. But as this great sort of fanfare, this explosion of sharp citrusy notes explodes, then you have this vetiver and this very, very, very sort of smooth woodiness, which is coming from the cedar, that it sits underneath it and it works perfectly. There is a point here, though, bearing in mind this is a real inexpensive perfume, when this sort of baton handover happens, when the woody notes and the vetiver kind of slide in, and it's a kind of a green and grassy vetiver that comes in underneath all this brightness, what happens then is that you get a little bit of a soapy edge to it. It doesn't last long, but you do pick up on this soapiness, and the soapiness itself doesn't smell great. It's nice, it's okay, but that's when it starts to reveal itself as being a very inexpensive perfume. There's a kind of a note that you get, or it's more of a smell than a note, to be honest, that you often get with some of the less expensive Middle Eastern perfumes, and it kind of appears here. It's subtle and you have to look for it, but I picked up on it straight away. So that's my only real negative from it. After sort of like the first half hour or so, you will notice this slight synthetic soapiness that comes through, which, although isn't unpleasant, it's just not as good as the opening. And thankfully, when it passes, this vetiver and cedar combination that take over, that smells really good as well. So you've got a tiny bit of this sort of synthetic moment where you think, oh, I'm not too overly keen on that bit. But because it's sandwiched between this really bright, sort of sharp opening and this wonderful sort of vetiver-y woodiness either side of it, you can forgive it. It's perfect. So this is a very fresh perfume. As it kind of dries down, then you'll notice this sort of synthetic oak moss that comes in. I don't really get too much of the amber or the benzoin at all, to be honest. It just becomes this sort of woodsy, mossy dry down, which is still quite crisp and it's still quite refreshing. So the perfume itself to wear is excellent. It has really good performance, okay? Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, this is a beast mode. It's not. It really isn't. I think nowadays it would appear that, I don't know whether people have spent so much time with, you know, poor performing perfumes, that anything with over average and above kind of performance is labelled a beast. And, you know, I'm quite fussy about what I give the title of a beast mode fragrance. It's not this, all right? This has good projection. It's very loud to start off with. So it starts off and you're thinking, cool, this really is going to be a beast mode fragrance. But it's not. After about 40 minutes to an hour, all that craziness just drops off and it sits above your skin. It's very noticeable. And it will last you a long time, but it's not a beast, all right? Let's get that out of the way. It's a good performing perfume. If you wear it to work, you'll come home and you'll still be smelling it on you. As I say, it's not a skin scent at that stage. A good 5, 6, 7 hours in, you'll still notice it and you'll get little wafts of it, but you know, it's not screaming out like it is for the first hour or so. This is a very masculine smelling, grown up and sophisticated smelling fragrance. It does not smell like an £18 Middle Eastern cheaper fragrance at all. It smells very good, very high quality. Just that little dodgy moment when the opening kind of comes down, that's the only time that you think, oh, it's a bit of a cheapie, because honestly it's a very high quality fragrance. This would be a perfect signature scent. This would be a perfect fragrance for you to wear to work. This would be a really good one for the more mature fragrance enthusiasts. I think the thrusters may be a little scared of its freshness and its bitterness rather than its outright sweetness. Again, I do apologise if you are a thruster and you like things that aren't sweet. But generally speaking, this is kind of going to be for the more mature fragrance enthusiast, which is what I think a lot of vetiver fragrances are. Obviously, it's masculine, but if you're a brave, confident, powerful woman, then you will enjoy this as much as I do. It's a fantastic frag. I think it's just one of the best bargains that you're going to find out there, and I highly recommend it. Is it blind buy worthy? Yes, I think it is completely blind buy worthy. I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that you do, but if you have £18 burning a hole in your pocket, get over to Notino and grab it, because it's a superb fragrance. I can't say enough good things about it, especially when you look at the value. And just the fact that it's green and it's got a crazy bottle, that's always a plus. Surely there's not enough crazy green bottles out there. I really, oh, nearly lost the cap there. There you go, it's clicked. I really highly rate this one. So here we have Fattan from Rasasi, a very good perfume that is obviously heavily inspired by Terre d'Hermès, but doesn't have that orange that smells mouldy on me. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've got this one, let us know and let me know what you think about it. And if you haven't got it and you do end up with it, please come back to us and let us know how you get on with it, because I think this is a fabulous fragrance. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for your time. It's always a pleasure. And we will see you very soon on the next video. So cheers, thanks, and bye.